My name is Rennie Grant. I am a recovering addict, a musician, still play every day, and a drug and alcohol counselor at Colmac. And they call me Roc.
All right. Good to see you, Rennie.
You too, man.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Hi, I'm Tony Massey. I'm a psychiatrist as well as addiction medicine specialist, also at Colmac. And together we are Roc and Doc.
That's who we are.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking. So we did this, Colmac was involved in the Nikki Perlow Foundation had a big fundraiser called the Forest of Hope. And it's in Oregon Ridge Forest. It's a nature center in Hunt Valley, Schwann Road. So you should go out there and check it out. You just go in and look for the nature center. You can't miss it. There's like 50 trees painted in glorious colors. One of them I did.
Yeah,
with some help.
All right, okay.
It was a Colmac team, but I was pretty much blue. Anyway, the focus of the event was to raise money for addiction treatment, and they are generous. They donate a lot of money to Colmac, to scholarship patients. And also one of the main focuses of the event was stigma.
Stigma.
Yeah, like stigma in addiction, stigma in treatment, you know.
Not the stigma of trees.
Not the stigma of trees, although some people may have stigma for trees.
Tree hugger.
I'll tell you, there were some people who are actually not happy about it, the paint. But just quickly, I'll just say that the paint is actually good for the trees. It keeps bugs out. It's not toxic to them at all. So we're actually helping them in some
Help
bizarre
out
way.
the trees by, yeah, okay, all right.
So, you know, I just want to make sure that
Make
public
sure they
service
know that.
announcement.
But it's okay, stigma, so
Stigma from the sense of, from the perspective of a patient, right? So I'm a patient, and I don't even want to say that I'm in treatment or have anything to do with treatment, because people are going to look at me as, you know, like, oh God, here comes that drug addict again. And I thought you could speak on the other side, where I know there's a lot of stigma in treatment.
Yeah, well, certainly from the provider end, you know, I mean, I hear all the time, like, why the heck would you want to work with addicts? Like, I can't imagine how bad that is.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 you know.
I've heard a lot of therapists who actually would say things like that.
Yeah, there's some psychiatrists around here. There's like, oh, I don't work with addiction, you know. I'm thinking, you probably do. You just
right. It's there. You just don't see it.
Just don't see it. You know. Yeah, that's funny. You know, if you never take a temperature, you can never find a fever.
True. It's amazing.
But yeah, so you know, I always kind of respond back. I love working with people in recovery because they're like, you know, some of the most genuine, you know, humble, grateful.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. 90% of the time. Yeah. So you know, but yeah, absolutely. You know, people not wanting to work with them, and then you know, and in the medical setting, like, oh my God, here's another, you know, drug seeking.
Yeah, like in the ER, right? They come in and
yeah, it's awful. And then in society, you know, I mean, like, kind of reinforcing what you're saying. You know. Everything's all about how bad people are, and you know, need to punish the addiction out of them, and you know, if that you know only would work. It's
like the Betty Ford. Was it Betty Ford? No, Nancy Reagan.
Reagan.
Just say no, right? Like, why can't you just stop? It's like asking a person with bipolar, why can't you just stop being bipolar?
Yeah,
it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, it's your choice to be manic.
Right.
So, yeah, you know,
but you know that stigma translates to people that I work with in group. So people will come in and you know, a lot of people in groups will identify as addicts or alcoholics, right? But then other ones will come in and they're like, I can't say that about myself. And I'll ask, you know, what does it bring up for you? Like, what kind of imagery does that bring up? And they're like, well, you know, an addict lives under a bridge and, you know, just lives in a vacant house. And that is so far from true.
Yeah.
I mean, some do, right? But I think the vast majority are people that you wouldn't even know have addiction issues.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the out of control aspect. That's what addiction is. Sort of the out
Absolutely.
Of control, that you know, can take hold in large ways like homelessness, or in much smaller ways. You know, that are
like interpersonal problems at home.
Problems, yeah, you know, and just not adequately attending to a relationship, for example, or work not going like it should because someone is, you know, spinning out of control with the drug use or alcohol or whatever, you know.
And I feel like the reason I thought we could do this would be to maybe help the few people in the world that actually watch these, and we're grateful for all the people that do, so thank you. But, you know, spread the word, because reading Facebook posts and hearing people speak about addicts in the most heinous of terms does not help the addict. It does not help anyone. And it certainly doesn't help society understand that this is actually a disease, mental health disorder. It's no different than, like I said, having diagnosis of bipolar or depression, or these are reward center malfunctions. They're biological, they're genetic in some ways, right? These are all there are reasons people are addicts.
And I think we can pretty safely say that this stigma approach has not helped.
No, it only hurts.
And this is, and I think and just if I could take just a moment of sort of
please
somberness here, and that just talking about opioid deaths, and we were just talking about in 2016, which is the most recent year we have some stats, more people in the U.S. died of opioid addiction than the entire U.S. casualty rate for the Vietnam War.
Really? In the 10 years that it was
the full soup to nuts,
That's incredible to me.
More people in 2016 died of opioid overdose than died of polio deaths from 1930 through when the salt vaccine came out in 1955. So
this is
it's not, and that's 1 year, and it seems like 2017 is going to be worse.
I mean, I look at it like in terms of, not only as in like the mass of grief that surrounds those deaths, but think of the productivity and the inventiveness and innovation, and all the great things, the amazing kids that will never be born.
It's a young person's illness by and large. So, at any rate, so just kind of take a moment, think about stigma and
empathy,
and instead, that these are people who have a medical illness, and just kind of think of it that way, and not be so quick to negatively judge and push away.
Yeah, and I think we could do more of these. Maybe next time we can do one. Maybe talking about, because separating the substance from the disorder, I think, is a valuable tool. The substance leads us to addictions in some ways, but it's not the addiction.
Yeah.